Everybody. Neeraj here. Here we are going to be talking about support and demand zones. So there is something called support where prices find support. Let's look at this chart of Hindalco. I'm going to remove all the drawings here, and I've clicked the daily time frame here. Okay, I'm clicking the daily time frame here. Now I am going to zoom in on the chart. I'm going to zoom in on the chart to find areas of support. So if you see here, there is something called a horizontal line here, and there's we can use a horizontal line to draw support uh, to basically draw a support zone. So I will take this line here, and if you see here, prices have touched and gone up. Prices have touched here and gone up. So I will zoom in and I will do something like this. I see that I'm getting a lot of touches here. Again, touches is important. So I am going to, you can put this any color. Uh, Normally what I do is, I will put this as green for support, for a support zone. Now let's zoom out. Now, this is, this, why is this, what is a support zone? A support zone is where prices have tested and they are not able to penetrate. Sometimes they are able to, like you see here, but that is like a one-off. And even after penetrating, it couldn't go below. It went upwards. Then see again, it tried penetrating here. It remained here for a bit, but it went up. Again, it tried. It couldn't. So there are enough. So buy orders here, institutional buy orders and retail activity. The price, even if it manages to penetrate, is just for taking away the sucking up the liquidity and the stops of the long orders, weak longs, and ultimately prices going upward. Now, this support zone, remember, support is always below the price, and resistance is always above the price. But we'll talk about resistance in another chapter. Here, we'll only talk about support. So there is support here. I drew a support here. Now, this support is, if I zoom in, I can see it. If I zoom out, I'm not able to see it also. Price is 518, right? Price is 518.35 and this is at 398. So it's absolutely useless to us. But for the sake of academic purposes and for teaching you, I drew a support zone here. There is also a support zone here. If you see here, prices are taking support here. Lot of candles. So I will draw a horizontal line here. So prices come here, took support, went up. And you need to remember one thing, that if a prices, if a price, okay, price, this is support, and this support that we have here basically is a support, but if the prices go below it, then it also becomes resistance. Remember, I told you resistance is always above the price, support is always below the price. So it was supporting, but if price managed to break through and come below this support will now become resistance, because now it is above this candle, so it will not let the price go easily up. So support becomes resistance and resistance will become support. But here we are only talking about support here. Now see again, even this is quite low below, there's big distance, right? So normally you will go long at support, but this is too much. So this is no use to us actually. But I'm drawing it for academic purposes. Now, if you see here so many candles, and I will draw a support line here. Why I drew it here? I drew it here because the support is also acting as resistance here. Can you see? When a support, which is support for the prices above it, but also resistance for the prices below it. If you have multiple touches from the prices here, where prices failing to go up and prices above the supply, above the support zone, prices are failing to go below, then this is a very powerful, uh, uh, this is a very powerful support line. Now, there is something called demand zone. There is something called demand zone. Now, support and demand zone are kind of synonymous. What is a support? Where prices have tested multiple times and bounced off because there are institutional orders there. And what is a demand zone? Demand zone again are orders which are there but which are yet to be fulfilled. So let's see. Let's see now. Now, if you see here, this is a nice um, support. Is also acting as resistance for prices below it. Once prices cross it, it becomes support. First, it was resistance, now it becomes support. So, resistance turned support is stronger than just a support line which has never served as resistance because it has got touches from below as well as from top. Now comes the question. Now, this is a support. Support. If you see here, there are spikes here. There are spikes here. Price has gone below. So, you can even draw another horizontal line here to cover the entire support zone because support is not just a single line. You can say it's an area. So the area is between 501.45 to 51, almost 17 rupees worth of area where you can have spikes. So prices can come and almost hit here. We have taken the lowest wick here out of these many candles. So this basically is a is a is a support. Now there's something called demand zone. Now whenever there is something called demand zone here, so and there is something called a demand zone here. I will not able to show it here. I'll go to a different chart. So you've understood the concept of of a support where prices bounce off, and we multiple touches give us a good support zone. Okay. Now we could have drawn the support here also at this bottom line, but we drew it here because it's touching many candles, and we drew one at the spike of this one, of this bearish candle. So we covered this area, and you see it is resisting prices. On the left hand side are the old days where it served as a resistance, and now when price finally broke through, it serves as a support. So this is a support, and there is something called demand zone. So you have a demand zone. Supply and support basically and demand zone are kind of synonymous, but a demand zone refers to areas where where price is not come to that level. Let me show you something. Let me go to a different chart if I can. ICICI Bank. mm, You have you have you have rally base rally. Okay, let me take a rectangle here. You have rally base rally. So I'll mark something like this. Hmm? Mark something like this. So here in this place, I will put this as this is a support. See multiple wicks touching here and bouncing off. Wick touching here and bouncing off. Of course, some have gone below, but You can keep another one here if you want. That will cover it. Like I said, uh, support is support is a zone. So you cover this zone as support. Now this is a demand zone. This is support and this is a demand zone. What do I mean by a demand zone? Demand zone is a place where prices have gone up and not touched. If you see here, this is a rally candle. You have base 1 and 2 and then again a green candle. That means that this is the area where smart money buy orders are waiting. And that is why the price has spiked up. That is why the price has spiked up after two base candles, which were consolidating. And price has not come here. So this is a fresh zone. Had prices come here and gone up, this would be a stale zone. So the chances of price bouncing up from here would be less. It would then become sort of like a support, where support is basically kind of like a, you can say kind of like a dead surface. You have a tennis ball and you bounce it on the ground, on earth, right? Or in your flat, or on the floor, or on earth, or on at sea level. You bounce it and it bounces up. So support is just like that. Support is just like that. Is just like that hard surface where the price will bounce. So this is support. But this is a demand zone where prices have gone up, prices have consolidated and gone up in a rally-based rally way, and it is fresh because bearish prices have not hit this and gone up. So there is a good likelihood that if the price comes here, you can place your buy order here. You can place your buy order here, and there's a good likelihood prices may come here and then bounce back because there'll be a lot of orders, institutional orders placed come here. And remember, big money, which is institutions, which are foreign institutional investors, direct institutional investors, equity funds, mutual funds, high net worth individuals who have orders, who are going in for delivery based trading and intraday trading also. They move the market because they have lakhs and lakhs of orders. That's why they're called big money, smart money. So this is a demand zone here and a fresh demand zone. Let's go to another chart. So I hope you understood what is the support where prices bounce off and what is the demand zone where there is a rally based rally or a drop based rally after a base where there are unfulfilled orders are still there could there are some orders here which may have yet to be which may not be filled, and the orders got filled right up to the low of this candle, but there could be orders here. And remember, I've drawn this to the lowest wick of the base. The lowest wick of the base has been taken as the bottom here. So there could be orders which are lying unfulfilled here. So if the price comes here, you may get a spike and you prices will rise again. Let's go to IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank. I want to show you something like drop base rally demand zone. If I get it, I'll remove the drawings here. So again here you have a support. We can draw support here. You can use a horizontal line or you can use the rectangle for the zone. So we take the spikes also with us. Don't draw something like this, okay? Don't draw a 200 rupees support because unless there is a huge spike here, there's a wick that came this because this doesn't make any sense. 200 rupees is hell of a lot. Please make sure that this is sensible. Use common sense. So I've taken a rectangle instead of two lines and I'm taking the spikes here. So if you see, this is support, prices are bounced off, prices are bounced off here, here. Okay. So this is a support. Now, do I have a drop based rally? Drop. See this. We have a drop base, single base, and a rally here. But the bearish candle wick has touched here. So this is no longer a fresh, demand zone. So the chances are there is no demand zone here, but the prices will still bounce off. Prices will still bounce off. Now, more the touches, the stronger it is, the support. But please remember, this is one bounce, two, three, four. Let me maximize this. Four, five, six, seven, eight. Now imagine there is a wall and you are a person who's strong and who has a hammer and who's hitting against a wall. So the first time you'll hit, it will not break. Second time you'll hit, it will not break. Third time you'll hit, it will not break. You keep hitting it and assuming it's a wall with 4 to 6 inches, just like our flats or residence. I'm not talking about a wall which is 100 meters thick. Okay. So if you keep hitting it again and again and again and again, finally you will break it and prices will break through the support. So keep this in mind. Couple of bounces good, but the more prices keep testing it like a hammer, there is a chance that they will break through and you will have a bear trend in place. So right now it's a retracement, again up. There's a retracement, a W pattern, again up, again prices are trying to hit. It may be a triple bottom, and then prices may go up. But remember, the more number of hits on the support, chances are price could finally break, especially if they're consolidating here only for a long time. So keep that in mind. So I showed you a rally based rally demand zone. I have shown you support. I'm trying to search for a drop based rally, fresh demand zone. If I can get it, if I can get something like, let me see if I can get it. Drop based rally, something that is untouched. A drop base. There is no rally here. Let me check the charts. Drop base rally. No, it's all you have a drop. Mm, Just trying to get you to see a drop based rally. We get it in Maruti Suzuki finally. Okay. So we are in Maruti Suzuki. I will draw. I'm zooming in on the chart so that more of the chart is visible a longer period. Again on the daily time frame. I'm going to come here and put what am I putting here? I'm putting a support. Why did I choose this place? Because this is a support, not only acting support for this, but acting as resistance for prices below it. See, price is resisting, 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 resisting. And once price is broken through, now it gone up again, it is now supporting it. So prices below it acted as a resistance and prices once went above is acting as support. This is stronger than just a line which is serving as a support. Okay. So like I told you earlier, now if you see here, this is a support, meaning price will bounce off. But this is also drop base rally. Drop base rally. Can you see drop? There is a base, again rally, and prices have not come here. So this area, drop base rally, I'm going to make a rectangle here, is from the top of I'm taking all the base candles, the top of the base candle to the bottom of the base candle in the base, wherever see the base. This is a place where prices, see, we already have a support zone and we have a fresh demand zone where you have a drop based rally. That means there are orders here at this level. Prices have not come below to pick them up. When this big candle came and you got 2.16% and you had a volume of 354K. Now, this 354K is definitely less than the normal volume, but doesn't matter. It, look at the percentage increase. Imagine 354K people, their orders got fulfilled. There are other people and big money who are going to be waiting for price to return to this price point. So, and prices, if the prices came down, bearish candles came down. So, if the bearish candles came down and if the buy orders had triggered, then this would be a stale demand zone. If it would have come here and basically people who would have continuously bears would have stopped even at this point. Their stop losses would be a little above their entry price. So first of all, there are some buy orders waiting here. Then sellers are shorting here because they believe market is going down, 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 and will go down, 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 down. They come here, stops a little above their entry price. So not only are fresh longs getting in, there the SL of the bears when the price starts to rise will trigger their cover buy orders because you have two legs to any trade. You short and then you buy to cover it, or you buy and then you sell to cover it. That's how a transaction is done in the stock market. So because of the bears stop buy orders getting hit and longs waiting here, price would go upward. would go upward. So this is the difference between a support and a demand zone. And demand zones which are untouched by price have a better chance of getting filled up rather than stale ones. For example, price had come here and gone, then you may not get a bounce when they come next time. I'm talking about the demand zone here, not the support. The support is likely to hold. There are no guarantees, but it's likely to hold because it is a resistance turned support. Prices are likely to bounce off. But of course, as many times as price keeps hitting the support, chances are it will break, at least for a bit, if not permanently. So I hope you understood the concept of a demand zone and what is support. Support is a place where prices bounce off, where prices come multiple times and bounced off. So it is an established support zone, and you have demand zones, which are basically uh, a, a drop based rally or a rally based rally area where there were base candles formed and you had a good big leg out candle. This is called a leg out candle. This is a leg in candle. This is a leg out candle where the leg out candle is nice and big, and the chances of buy orders waiting there, which were not fulfilled in the earlier run, are waiting. So when the price comes, it may not even touch the support because you see here the demand zone overlaps the support zone and it's a little above. Prices may bounce from here itself. So I hope you had a good learning. Try to create support zones and demand zones, fresh demand zones in on the charts, and uh, you will slowly become more experienced at this. And if you have any doubts, I'm here to serve you. I hope you had a good time learning. Please note down your learnings, and if you like what I'm teaching, please give me a 5-star review on Trustpilot. Thank you all. See you in the next chapter.